All right, guys, I have right here an MRE from Denmark, sent to me by Vlad, a subscriber. He's been sending me quite a few things lately. He said it was opened by the customs, U.S. Customs, before it got to him. They rifled through it, apparently didn't take anything, so everything is here, it's just not intact. It was packed and unpacked and packed back again. We're going to see what's in it together. I have no idea, but I do know that Denmark is north, Norway, Denmark, Sweden. So it'll be interesting to see kind of cold weather stuff, what they put together for the troops. It's a 24-hour MRE. It's brand new. It's good to eat all the way around, so we're going to get after this. Well, let's see here. First thing, I'm thinking this is some kind of accessory pack. Just your typical sandwich bag with a resealable top. We've got black tea with lemon, another black tea with lemon, 3 salts, 3 hand wipes, sugar, freeze-dried coffee, 3 peppers, I like that, another freeze-dried coffee, and a 3rd freeze-dried Colombian coffee. Oh, look at here, guys, a toothbrush, a couple of spoons, a couple of toothpicks, some more sugar, spearmint, chewing gum.
Wow.
Cool. Oh wait, and there's another toothpick and another 2 more chewing gums, so 1 after each meal apparently. We have a protein bar, raspberry jam, a cereal bar, apricot jam, Fuchs cornbread, so I'm guessing some kind of cornbread, cocoa powder, both are cocos.
That makes sense for cold weather.
That's right. A chocolate bar. Ooh, I'm excited about that. What do we have? Spicy sauce, biscuits, tomato soup ×2, hazelnut spread, cashews, orange flavored cake, fruit pocket, drinking powder, raisins, lemon flavored drinking powder, cranberries, a spoon.
So they did give you 3 spoons.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had 2 earlier. That's right. Yeah, see, because this thing was opened up by customs, it was repackaged and not all together the way it had been originally. So we have pasta in herb sauce, pasta in tomato sauce. Oh, muesli with raspberries. So this would be the breakfast item. We're going to start out with breakfast. What I've had to do is bring out some boiling water from in the house because apparently during the inspection by the customs, they either took out the heat packs then or there weren't heat packs with it because there's nothing there now. So we've heated up water inside. We will add it to our cereal mix. Let's take a look at that real quick. Pretty interesting combination there. I've never seen anything quite like that. I see oats. I see, I'm thinking flax. I see all kinds of crazy stuff with some kind of powder as well. So we'll see what that's about. There's a real easy fill it to there line, so that makes it easy. And it's a resealable container as well. And there we go. We got her just right. We'll reseal it. Ooh, that's hot. I'm going to stir it up here too. Yeah. It's looking good in there. You know, let's say a quick prayer here. Father in heaven, thank you so much for this food we get to eat now. Thank you for Vlad sending it to me. I just ask that you would bless it to my body now. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Well, that mixes, it's because that powder was there, it mixes up pretty fast, it seems. Now I'm thinking those oats and some of the hard grains could use a little more soaking, so yeah. I'm not going to try them all right away. Set that aside, seal it back up. Let that do its work. Oh, it says wait for 5 minutes and then eat it. So we'll get the timer going. So what I like to do when I eat breakfast cereal like that, which isn't very often, but I like to add things to it like raisins, which is I'm sure why they included these. And what do we have here? We have dried cranberries, which I enjoy as well. There we go. Now those are some kind of sad looking cranberries when you look at them there. They don't have the red food coloring that either we put them in the United States or that they just look a lot better in the United States. The red is more pronounced. In fact, let's see here, before we add them to the cereal. So the cranberries, very sweet, they're really good. They taste like cranberries. Raisins, they smell like some kind of chemical or something over them, but the raisins are tasty as well. So that'll be fun to add to the cereal. So while we're waiting for breakfast to heat up, let's get out some of our drink. We'll open up our freeze-dried Colombian coffee. Looks like regular freeze-dried coffee.
That really was instant coffee.
It's about probably 85 degrees out here. Still the morning, but we are in the south. Very humid. So a little hot coffee would be interesting. By the way, there's no creamer that I saw. You know, for instant coffee, not bad at all, not bad at all. I'm going to put a little sugar in it just to try it. There we go.
Got hummingbirds here, guys. Couple of them.
Little face-off going on.
Yeah. They both want it.
It's funny, they'll be so greedy they won't let the other one in so they don't land and drink, so nobody gets a drink. They just fight about it all the time. If you've had a hummingbird feeder, you know what I'm talking about. So here's some coffee with sugar. You know, I didn't put a lot in it. There's a real bitter edge, which some people like that. That's why they drink coffee. I'm not so much about that. I like a more mellow coffee. So that sugar, I don't even taste the sugar, but it took the edge off it just a little bit. I kind of like that. We have some black tea as well. It's lemon. It has lemon in it. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to try one hot, and then we'll try one at lunchtime cold and see how they do. There we are. A little more hot water. We'll let that steep a bit and give that a try. So this is apple and peach ingredients, about half and half roughly. So let's see. It says fruit pocket. So I'm curious to whether it's a liquid, like a drink, or if it's more like, let's take a look here. Oh, it's like baby food. Yeah.
Like applesauce.
That's good. That's really tasty. You can taste the apple, you can taste the pear. That's fun. Wow. And that is real, I mean, that's really good stuff. You want to try a little bit of that?
Sure.
You want me to, okay, there you go. Man, that, it's all sweet, but it's not overpowering. It's just like having a bite of a good piece of fruit. Isn't that good?
Yeah, it is.
That really, the texture's a little strange because, you know, you look at it and you think baby food.
Well, it's a good way to, you don't have a whole apple with you or whatever. You
Yeah,
just have it in that form.
Easy to
yeah, consume.
pack and go with it. Wow. And you can squeeze it and suck it down. That's good stuff. Highly recommend that. Let's have some mucilix. There's more in there, but that'll serve our purposes. It's quite thick, and I put in the amount of water they suggested. There's no real smell. That's good. But let's put a little fruit in it. Both kinds.
So it's not very sweet?
No, not. In fact, it surprises me. I thought it was going to be sweet.
What if that's why they gave you the sugar?
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. Yep. Oh, that sweetens it up really nicely. Yeah, with cranberries and raisins, that's nice. You know, this is fun because you got your coffee, got your tea, and that tea is with lemon. I've never had hot tea with lemon.
It smells really aromatic. It smells really good.
And I'll tell you, with the lemon flavor to that tea, it's really good with the mucilix, with the breakfast. We're gonna add a little bit of sugar to a bite here.
What do they call it? Sucre?
Yeah, sucre. With a little bit of raisin and a little bit of cranberry there. Wow, that'll bind you up though. I'd be a little concerned about that as far as being in the field. You definitely want to drink plenty of water, tea, coffee. Because that's some pretty serious unprocessed oats and like I say, I'm not sure all what's in there. I'm not familiar with grains really, so somebody could probably help me out there, but I definitely see oats. And I can't think of what the other stuff is, but there's a little bit of dried fruit in there too, I think. That must be like a dried apple. I can taste that a little bit. You know, but it does taste the best with sugar on it, I have to say. So, very interesting. And you pair that with a black tea infused with lemon. That's a fun breakfast. Let's wipe our hands off a little bit here and try out the cocoa powder. We'll have that for our dessert. Another thing I noticed when we opened all this up and are starting to go through it, there's our cocoa powder, by the way, that looks good, is that I don't have any napkins. So I went inside, when I went and grabbed my USS El Paso cup, I grabbed a paper towel. So
yeah, that's kind of, maybe, yeah, that's weird. It's hard to know what they took out.
Right, exactly, and why. You know, who knows? Maybe they ripped it up when they opened it and then they just didn't put it back in. But that looks good. That dissolved very easily. That's very interesting because a lot of times our US-based cocoa powders, you know, you got to stir and stir and stir. And this isn't terribly hot, and yet it's still mixed in real well. Let's try it out here. Oh, that's good. That's a rich chocolate. It's not, I think it's probably a little bit dark as opposed to milk. This definitely isn't like a first strike, get it and get it fast and get going. This is like sit down and enjoy a little breakfast. So yeah. I have to say, the cereal with the fruits, that's a lot of fun. But with the tea and lemon, it just really goes well with this. And then to top it off with a cup of hot chocolate, I'll tell you what, this is a fun breakfast. Let's see what lunch is like. All right, guys, it's time to move on to lunch. It's still hot out here. We're gonna wipe the old hands off and get started. Let's get our tea out, get it steeping. I really enjoyed this lemon infused tea. That's the first time I've had hot lemon tea. There we go. I want to get this going right away so we can get it heating up. But there it is again, a lot of powder. Now we got a lot of noodles in this. Check out all the pasta noodles. Look at that, little corkscrew noodles.
Oh yeah.
Looks like little bits of peppers. So let's get some hot water into that.
It's amazing how much a big meal can shrink when you take the liquid out of it.
Isn't that the truth? There we go. All right, before I seal that up, stir it around good.
Looks like chicken noodle soup to me.
It does, doesn't it? Remember going snowboarding and taking the old cups of soup up with us and putting it in the hot water? That was fun.
Yeah, it's like their version of cup noodles.
Seal it up, let the heat do its work. Let's see what our bread looks like. I'm really curious about that. Whole grain biscuits, it's called.
I'm guessing biscuit means crackers to them.
That's what I'm guessing too. Of course, you have to be smarter than the packaging. There we go.
Oh wow, that's like really whole grain.
Wow, that looks quite good actually.
Like seeds and rock crackers. You can see the individual grains.
Well, let's just see here. Got a little piece here. Looks good. Oh, it's a little bit grainier than a graham cracker. It's got a good taste, a little bit of a salty taste to it. Yeah, that's going to be fun. But we also have a tomato soup, and I want to get this going, so here's what we're going to do with the old tomato soup. Do a cup of soup of this. Put it in our USS El Paso cup. Oh, we've got little round noodles in this.
They like their noodles.
They do like the old noodles. Let's put that in there. There we go. I think it's so interesting how this dissolves so easily as opposed to some of the American-based stuff that the powder, the granules, it's not as finely ground. This just dissolves immediately. I mean, there's no dust in the bottom. I'm not having to stir chunks of things up. It's we'll just let those noodles soak a little bit, but that's pretty cool. Let's see what our protein bar looks like here. Looks like it has chunks of cranberries in it there. Kind of quite sweet, it smells like. And here we have raspberry powdered drink. So I'm going to get that going too.
Give you lots of like drink type stuff.
Yes. Use the old Marine Corps canteen cup. Probably about that much right there. Here we go. Oh yeah, just like Kool-Aid. Got to lick off the old spoon here. All right.
Raspberry and tomato don't generally go together.
Yeah, you don't. It's hard to mix fruits and vegetables sometimes. Oh man, that's good. That's the best raspberry drink I've ever had. We mixed that just right. All right. You know, while we're waiting for that meal to heat up good, I want to tell you, when I was active duty from 80 to 84, in boot camp, they give you a series of tests called the ASVAB. The Armed Services Vocational Battery Test, something like that. It's been 40 years. I took the ASVAB before I went in, and then you take it again, I guess, when you get active duty in boot camp. And for whatever reason, they picked me out to take another series of tests. And included in that was a thing to see how well you could memorize Morse code. Well, it just so happened when I was in high school as a freshman, Mr. DeWeese at Marion High School offered over the winter vacation, that 2-week period, if you could memorize the Morse code chart, that you would get a full grade from wherever you were to the next highest grade. So I think I was a B student, and so if I could memorize Morse code over that 2-week period, I'd get an A. So it's like, that seems easy. It sounds like fun. So I memorized Morse code. Years later, I'm in the Marine Corps. I put a headset on me and said, listen to this and see if you can hear what's going on. So they gave you a few examples of what the Morse code sounded like, because I'd only learned it just as dots and dashes. I'll play a little bit of that for you. But I learned, or I heard the A, B, C, and what each letter was, the corresponding Morse code over the airwaves. And you would just sit and listen. Then they would play different series and different orders of letters. And if you could remember it, you would just type it on a typewriter. It was real slow, but it was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Well, I must have done pretty well at that, because next thing I know, they're pulling me out and saying, we'd like you to go into intelligence. It's like, oh, okay. So I went in open contract. Normally a guy that goes in open contract he's an 0311, they call it, you're a rifleman. And that's what everybody thinks of when they think of Marine. I didn't even know about intelligence in the Marine Corps. No jokes in the comment section about that. Anyway, I'll be here all day. So I was with my platoon, and all of a sudden the drill instructors would get a call, and they'd call me, Schneiderman, get up here. And there's a whole procedure you had to go up. I'd be at the drill instructor's hooch, and they'd give me a pass and say, you need to go to building whatever, here are directions. And it's like, oh, and I'd just miss out on whatever they were doing that day. So I would head into town, kind of the base camp area, and go meet with a guy that was in a suit. I couldn't believe that, because all you saw were Marines. You didn't see anybody in civilian clothes where we were. But I'm talking to a guy with a suit and a tie, and he's asking me all these questions about if I'd smoked marijuana, if I'd done anything illegal, had any illegal activities in my past. And it was really quite strange, but this is what I signed up for. So I answered all the questions truthfully. And he said, now we're going to do an investigation into your background if things keep going on as they are. So what I found out several months later, I got out of boot camp. Apparently everything went well, because I did go into intelligence. But I went back to where I used to work before I joined the Marine Corps. It was a cafeteria. I was an assistant manager there. And I went to go say hi to everybody, and the cook, his name was Bobby Washington in Little Rock, Arkansas, the Golden Hose Cafeteria. Bobby, his eyes they flew open when I walked in through the door, and he's like, oh man, he said, I thought I wasn't going to see you again. I'm like, what are you talking about, Bobby? He said, these guys came in from the FBI, they flashed their badges, they were in suits, dark glasses, just like you see on TV, he said. And they started asking questions about Lynn Schneiderman, and had he done this, and was he a good guy? And he said, I thought, oh man, they found out something about, and they used to call me Mr. S, because you called the manager Mr. whatever their last name was. We all thought, oh, Mr. S had been busted in Marine Corps boot camp. He's in trouble now, he's going to jail. So anyway, that was kind of a fun thing to find out afterwards. To hear everybody where I used to work thought I was history. I was in jail somewhere because the FBI was looking for me. So anyway, but it turned out all right, and we'll tell you a little bit more about those adventures in another video. Let's see about that soup. All right, let's get after this soup here and see what this looks like. Uh-oh. Not quite as soupy as I was thinking it would be. Might need more water, we'll see. Interesting. It looks more like a stew, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like something you get at Olive Garden.
There you go. There's something stringy there. Interesting. Well, let's say a quick prayer here. Father in heaven, thank you so much again for this food and your loving kindness and providing it richly for me. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Well, we'll try it first without any salt, any seasonings, and then we'll go from there. Now I can see, looks like carrots, some kind of greens. Of course, we have those corkscrew noodles. A little al dente. That's interesting. I don't know if it's because there's something left from the tea, the soup, or the raspberry drink on the spoon, but it tastes a little sweet. It's not much to my liking, actually. Maybe a cracker will improve on it here. Let's try a little cracker.
Kind of like sweet pasta.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's kind of strange.
I'd
for
like
our taste.
Yeah, I'd like some meat in it. It's okay, but I mean, I'd eat it. I'm eating it now because I'm hungry. Let's see.
Maybe spicy sauce.
Yeah, let's see if a little bit of hot sauce helps. Interesting to see what a Danish spicy sauce is like. Ooh, that's spicy. Ooh. I don't want to mix raspberry with it.
You're sweating.
I am. For me, spicy, it's just everything tastes spicy. I'll tell you what, guys, I don't care for it that much. I had high expectations, but
It looks good visually.
yeah. If you'd like to try some, you're welcome to do it.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it's just not to my palate. What do you think, Asa?
No, there's some flavors in there. I don't understand what they are.
That's it. Yeah,
I don't know what that is. That
Not
flavoring.
familiar with it.
I think it might be the green stuff. I'm not sure what all the. It seems like there's a lot of dill or something in it.
Oh, you know what that might?
Is
Yeah,
it like dill pasta? To me, it is. It's a little oddball.
yeah, because it's got a little mix of sweet, but there is a certain spice. Vegetable stock, onions, tomatoes, celery, garlic. That's probably a lot of it, and citric acid. Interesting. Sunflower oil and cheese.
I thought I saw some stringy like cheese.
Yeah, you know that might be what it is. It's the cheese taste. I think I'm getting there.
You have a strong cheese taste.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Now, I do like it. I put some salt and pepper on it. That definitely improved it. I did it on just a little bite. Let me put some more of that on there. There we go. I way prefer that to the hot sauce. The hot sauce, I'm just tasting hot. Now that helped. You should try that. That's so interesting. It's such a different taste.
Yeah, it is different. I don't know what it is. What that
Yeah.
flavor is.
I think it's a cheese with the vegetables in there. Cheese,
It's
vegetables.
some unknown cheese to me, or some unknown vegetable to me. I'm not sure.
Anyway, salt and pepper definitely help. Let's do some of our raspberry jam with a cracker. This cracker, I think, is going to be really good with jam.
It's already slightly sweet.
Oh, you gotta try. I gotta load one of these up for you.
Because it's almost like this pasta's slightly sweet, and then the crackers are slightly sweet.
That's good. That's a good play. That drier cracker with that real liquidy jam.
That is
I
really
like
good
that.
raspberry jam.
Yeah, no, that is good. Definitely. Well,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pasta though. It's kind of
yeah, I could get used to it. It's better with salt and pepper, but let's try the tomato soup.
I think that's what it is with all foreign flavors. You know?
So we have the round pastas, like SpaghettiOs, and we have the croutons. Let's see if we did the right amount of water. That is good. Oh my. That, you know what's going to be really good with that too?
The cracker.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is a dish. You gotta try a drink of that. That's a real tasty soup.
That's a really good soup.
It's real. It's got plenty of tomato taste in it. The noodles and croutons are just right with it. It's just a...
That'd be a great soup for when you're like sick, you know, not feeling well.
Yeah.
That's a really like...
That is a good soup. And I have one more envelope for supper. Let's just get a little bit of tea to wash that down a bit.
Probably one of the best soups I've had in MRE, honestly. It's bursting with flavor, like
it is.
Tomato flavor.
I think we did the right amount of water too. You know, we read the instructions and did it just right. That USS Iwo Jima cup makes a lemon hot tea taste even better. Good stuff. Well, let's hop over to our raspberry drink. Man, that, you want to try a little of that?
They must really like raspberries.
Really, oh man, that I can see why.
That's good too, yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah. The drinks, they have really good drinks with this.
So let's take a look here. We've got our protein bar. I'm tasting, I think, cranberries, some kind of nougat, and then just your grain on the bottom. It's just, for me, it's just the right amount of sweet. It's not too sweet. They provide a toothpick after each meal, which I typically need, and then once you get your teeth cleaned, you got spearmint gum. We got 2 pieces of gum here. You want to share in one?
Sure.
There you go.
Cheers.
Bon appetit.
Never had Danish gum before.
Yeah, Danish spearmint gum. That's good. The thing about gum that I like at the end of a meal, it's a little funny tasting sometimes, but it can clean your teeth good, especially when you get older, your teeth get more gaps and stuff, get tighter in some areas, gaps in others, so gum can be a good thing to clean your teeth. Well, let's see about supper. Now, one thing I found out is I got enough stuff for breakfast, got full, that was good. I got enough stuff for lunch, got full, that was good. Look at how much stuff is left. I mean, this is a lot of food, and we're going to just start looking and seeing what we've got and open it up and having a little bit of everything. First of all, cashews, my favorite nut, right there. I'm hoping they taste as good as the packaging looked. Yeah, we'll have to try those in a minute. And here, I believe, we have the equivalent of Nutella. It is hazelnut spread, it's called. There we go. Let's see what that looks like here.
I love Nutella, so if this is...
See, and I don't...
Yeah, you don't care
It's
for
not
it.
my deal so much. Well, we got the ends broken open, but...
Oh, it is.
Hey.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna...
No, you're fine.
Give it a taste test. That's good. It's different than American
right?
Nutella, but it's good.
Well, there we go. Kind of looks like cake frosting.
It does. It tastes more like frosting, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
All right, we've got an orange cake of some kind. We'll get opened up here. Ooh, now that looks good.
Nice. You probably put the Nutella on top of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, we've got some apricot jam.
That might go good, though, on the orange cake.
Yeah, I think we can try a little bit of everything. Let's see here. Apricot jam. Oh yeah, that looks good. There we go, nice and creamy. Let's open up our chocolate bar. Generous amount of chocolate bar there, I would say. We have a cereal bar. Man. Another one of these loaded meals.
I feel like they gave you 3 meals plus snacks.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. If the army runs on its stomach, this army is going to run pretty good. And we'll make us some soup. You know about this already. I love this soup. And this was exactly the same packaging as the first tomato soup we had for lunch. But I want some more of that because it was that good. Put that in the El Paso cup that I bought when I was on the USS El Paso on my way to Norway and back. And then we have some lemon flavor powder. Get our old Marine Corps cup out. There we go. Just in case you all don't know this, you see how this cup is slanted a little bit or bent in a little bit. That is so when you put it on your web belt and you have it on your hip, there's a little bit of a contour there so it doesn't butt up against you, pun intended. Now the interesting thing about this powder was that it mixes in with the water very easily. The raspberry one just mixed right in. There was no stirring, trying to get it to mix up. It just went right in there. It's very fine, and it didn't take any time at all to get mixed into the water, and we could try it. So we'll let that set a minute. To start this meal out with, we got some coffee right here. We got water heating up. Again, with these meals, we don't know if Customs took out the heaters or the heat tabs in the oven or what, or there just isn't anything with it, and they're planning on having these in some kind of a garrison or camp situation where you can go get your hot water. So we're going to provide our own hot water. This, I think it's going to be some kind of cornbread, because I see Korn and then some kind of bread. So I'm thinking this would be cornbread, and that might be good with some of this jelly and stuff we have too. Oh yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Nice little loaf there.
Oh yeah, that's cornbread. That's cornbread.
That's cool. They gave you orange bread and cornbread.
There you go. Well, let's get our main dish open. This is the tomato-based, it's pasta and tomato sauce, it's called. Take a look at that. It's got those little curly Q noodles like the other one did. And it's got the red for the tomato instead of just the herbs. I'm thinking I'm gonna like this one better just because their tomato soup is so good. Let's get some hot water. Okay, we got the water. We're gonna pour some water into the bag and go all the way up to
I think you need a little more.
I do too. Let me just see. Yeah, that looks about right. Get that stirred up good. Ooh, I like the tomatoey goodness the way it's looking there. And with some cornbread, that ought to be some fun stuff here. Seal it up, let it do its work. Let's say a quick prayer here. Father in heaven, again, we thank you so much for this food, and thank you for Vlad who sent it to me, and I just ask that you bless this food to my body now. In Christ's name, amen. Try a little bit of our cold drink first. Yeah, that just dissolved right up. There's no powder left in the bottom. Oh man, that is good lemonade. That's dang good lemonade. Mm.
It smells fragrant. I can smell it from here.
Yeah, oh, it's like the real McCoy there. It tastes like it has fresh squeezed lemons in it. Pour a little coffee here.
Again, it seems like there's a big emphasis on the liquids, on the drinks and soups.
Yes, indeed. Going to keep you hydrated for sure. This is from my Iwo Jima cup Asa got me. Commemorating the time I was on the USS Iwo Jima, helicopter carrying and launching pad out in the ocean.
That's cool to me. I mean, the jet thing is really cool, but you see that all the time. You don't see the helicopter one very often in movies or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not as dramatic.
Yeah.
And then we'll pour a little into our tomato soup base. Check that out. We got the noodles and the croutons in there, and we'll let that simmer a bit. I've been dying to try these cashews. Let's get after some of these right now.
You eat cashews almost every day, no matter what.
Yeah, I love cashews. Now, I don't see a lot of salt on those. Need salt. So here's how you do salt with nuts that aren't salted enough. Put it all in one thing, and those are good. Those are dried good. They're crisp. They're crunchy, and they're very cashewy tasting. There's sometimes when you buy the lower end cashews, I've had them, and you just kind of get what you pay for on cashews. They're just not as bursting with flavor, with that cashew flavor, as good cashews. Those are good cashews. We got our cereal bar here. That's interesting. That has more, looks like raisins and cranberries than the other granola bar had. Doesn't smell like anything in particular. Wow, that's sweet. It's very fruity tasting. Excuse me.
It's a little strong.
Well, when I'm eating it, I'm kind of running the saliva through my mouth to get the thing that's holding it all together off, and that's very sweet. And then it leaves the grains, and they're a little, they'll stick in your throat. But they're good and crunchy. We have to try our orange cake. Now this looks like orange shortbread kind of a cake thing. This looks good. This reminds me of, in the old days, in sea ration days when I first was in the Marine Corps, we had canned cakes, and they were very moist, and they were wrapped in something like this. They were quite good. And ooh, that smells orangey. Oh man, that's good. Well, our chocolate is melting enough. I mean, it's just, you can see it's just soft. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to kick off a bar there.
You're basically eating dessert first here.
Yeah. Kids don't do this at home unless you get permission, right? But remember, your appetite will come back. Anyway, so we get a little chocolate and look at that.
And cashew.
I'm interested to see what Danish chocolate is like.
Me too.
I would say, compared to the Russian chocolate we had recently, that this is a little more of a dark chocolate. I'm not a big fan of dark chocolate. In fact, I'm going to throw me a couple cashews down, clean that taste out.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of sugar in that chocolate. I don't like that, actually. that was very disappointing.
That's the only thing so far that I haven't cared for, really. All right, let's check out our main dish. Ooh, look at that. Look at that tomato-looking soup in there. That's going to be good. We'll just pour that right down. Oh, man. It looks like it has chunks of, might be meat, vegetables for sure. Oh, there we go. There we go. Nice. Oh, yeah. The noodles feel soft. Wow.
Definitely.
Look at the tomatoes. Yeah, look at the pasta, the tomatoes. I think I added enough water this time. Let's see here. It's good, but I need a little salt and pepper. Here's some salt. There we go. Mix it all in good. All right, look at that. Carrot. I got a carrot there. I got a little bit of noodle. I got everything. It's a real creamy. The noodles are perfect. There's a little bit of a munch or a little tiny crunch on some vegetables, which is fun. I like that. This is really a fun meal. Let's have it with some cornbread. That corn and tomato, wow. That is really, really good. There's some really fun textures in this soup. The main dish. If you think a really good tomato soup, like a restaurant style tomato basil soup, it's that good, but then it has the noodles and the vegetables in it that just make it extra. I gotta say, this, I think it needed a little salt, but this is really extraordinary. This is a good dish. Even the fact that it doesn't have meat doesn't detract from it. Okay, we're gonna cleanse the old palate here. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to get a little bit of chewing gum. Casey, would you like a piece?
Sure.
But we're not done yet. I'm using this to kind of clean anything major off my teeth that the cleansing didn't get. And then take our toothbrush, which I think it smells of something, I think. I know I did one of these foreign MREs before, and I thought, well, they gave you toothbrush but no toothpaste. Somebody said, no, there's toothpaste in with the toothbrush already. It's flavored like. So we're going to try that. Oh yeah, look at that. It's foaming right up.
Oh, it's foaming up. That's amazing.
Oh, how cool is that?
They infused the toothbrush with toothpaste.
Wow. That's crazy. My mouth is minty fresh. It did what it was supposed to do. No napkins with this meal, so here I go. But guys, this was the most fun meal out of the three because everything was darn tasty, with the exception of the chocolate. But I'll tell you what, that chocolate with the nuts made it palatable. I think I'd probably trade on the chocolate. Everything else was fantastic. Let's get after the next one.